Hi YouTube, my name is Tim and this is the 6th tutorial on C Sharp, and the last time we just made our first Windows form, our first Windows box, yeah. And in this tutorial I thought we will be making a web browser. You might say, oh, that sounds hard, but you know, it isn't. It's really simple actually. And yeah, I can do this later. So I just made a new project, and here's our form, and I'm gonna set the title of it. It's a text property when you have this form chosen. So I'm gonna say web browser, yeah, just like that. And I'm gonna add a thing called a panel. Now panels are really useful. Let's say I want to have a button, and I want this button to always be close to this button, even when I move one. But put them in a panel, you can move them like this. A panel is simply a group, but there are a property called a dock for the most controls, and I'm gonna set the dock of this to the top, because on the top you have buttons, and these I'm gonna set the dock left. So this, I'm gonna add another one. So go back, go forward, home, and maybe stop, and then add another one. But I'm gonna have this looking to the right. This is gonna be go, and I'm gonna add a, yeah, we can start with text box, and the dock of this fill. So if I drag this up to there, double click on this, let's just set the text of everything. So go, you know, this can be stop, home, go forward, go backward. Well, where's the web browser? Well, it's really simple. Search for web browser and you have it. Or if you're using Visual Basic 2010 or whatever it is, you can. If you don't have it, you right click on the toolbox, select choose items, and it's gonna load. Loading item. It's when you go in here, oh my god, you can add items that you have downloaded, like custom controls and that kind of stuff. But let's just let this go, and now you can just search for web browser, and there you have it. It should be in your toolbox already, but if it isn't, well, you can just add it. So I'm gonna add this, and you can see, oh, well, I had one. You can see here that it docks to fill directly. If I set it to none, you will see this little box. But fill fills all the space that isn't taken. That's why I said this to be dock on top, because then it says, hey, this space is taken, you can't be here. And there's like, okay, well, I stay here then. As you can see, the name is WebBrowser1, and we're gonna go into the Go button first. And it's really simple. WebBrowser1 dot navigate, in parentheses, we're gonna get the text box text, so what the user entered. And if I start a program and say like google.com go, you can see we already have a working web browser. that's all you have to do to make a browser go somewhere. But I want to be able to go, I don't know, stop WebBrowser1 dot stop, and all this is just basic stuff, you know. Here, not that one. Go forward. WebBrowser1 dot, you know, go forward. Oh, and I forgot this. This and a dot should be in front of this kind of stuff. But as I said earlier, it isn't necessary. It's just make things. When you get up to high level of programming and you start using multiple windows, this makes things a lot more clear. And this is the go backward. Go back. Just like that. Oh. No slash in there. So that is almost all you need. Well, the home button doesn't have a thing. Let's make another button up here actually. Control C, Control V. I will have to cut this out and add it right in, because this was added after and that doesn't size properly through this and stuff. So I'm gonna change this actually to set the text to set home, and I'm gonna go into here and say this dot WebBrowser1 dot go home dot set. Does this have a home? No. Well, we're gonna make a manual home thing. Dot stop is this button. Dot stop. 7 minutes already. Well, this set home, we're gonna add a variable here, and it's gonna be of the type public. You don't have to learn protected and private and all that kind of stuff yet. Just go with public. And it's gonna be a string, as it's gonna be text. You know, the text to the URL to website. We can name this like home site, and I'm gonna give it a default value of http://www.google.com/. So the set home should be, you know, this dot home site equal to this dot WebBrowser1, and we're gonna get the URL that it is at now and make it a string, because otherwise it's a URL, and a URL isn't a string. It's kind of confusing in the beginning, but you'll get a hang of it. So the home button, it's really simple. You should just have figured it out already. This dot WebBrowser1 dot navigate, and we wanna navigate to this dot home site. We start the program. Navigation to web page was cancelled. Home, and we get to Google. Let's go to facebook.com. If we go, I can go back to Google. I can go forward to Facebook. I can go home to Google. I can go to Facebook and set this my home. Go back, and when I go home, Facebook is my home. If I go back, I can go forward and stop, and yeah, it's a basic web browser already. In, what is it, 9 minutes? Things isn't hard. But what if I want this to react when I press enter? Well, there's a little lightning here, and if you hover over it, it says events. You know, there's a text change and stuff. Just as this has a button, have click. The text box here have text change and all kind of stuff. But the one we are looking for is key down. No, key up actually. If you just double click on the empty cell besides it, you get to the function, and it's already set up and done. So it's nothing you have to do manually. Well, actually, just where the code that's gonna be run. So first of all, we want to check what key was pressed, because it's only return as the enter key actually happens to be named. It's actually that one that we're gonna check if it's pressed. So if the E and the key code, remember double equal signs now because we're checking if the E.key code is equal to keys.return, then we're gonna do something. We're gonna do this.navigate, no, this.WebBrowser1.navigate, and we're gonna go to this.textbox1.text. That's all we have to do. So if I go to google.com, press enter, we get here. It isn't hard enough, or hard at all. Hard enough? No, not really. Oh my god. Yeah, so there you have it, a web browser. Not hard at all. Next time I think we're gonna take a look at functions and methods. I confused them, so I just call them all functions actually, but they're really useful actually. But we'll take it that time. Thanks for watching this tutorial, and have a nice day. Bye.